All right, welcome back to Ether Sports. I'm your guy, KJ, and I'm just coming back. Last week was a success. I was 4-1. Everybody came through for me except for the New York Football Giants. So I personally believe it was just a bad week. It was a bad matchup. Washington Commanders is a very serious team. So they came in swinging. I thought they was going to have a little bit of playoff regression this year, first game, but they proved me wrong. Anyway, out of 5 games that I picked last week, I got 4 of them right. So moving on to this week, I got five. Yeah, was it? Yeah, 5 picks for you guys. And I'm going to go down the list what I have. So first one is Washington Commanders versus the Packers. So as I stated in my last video, how I typically look at the NFL, particularly, I look at the quarterback matchups. To me, that's the most important thing that you can look at when it comes to making picks with the NFL. So you got Jaden Daniels versus Jordan Love. So I think it's a fairly even match for us the quarterbacks. I think Jaden Daniels is a little bit better, a little bit more upside than Jordan Love. So, and I think that he has more weapons than Jordan Love. I know that the Commanders they're on the road, so they got the home field advantage, Green Bay, Lambeau Field. So yeah, it's going to be rocking. It's going to be rocking. Definitely, the Packers seem like they definitely got playoff aspirations. So they're going to be a team that's going to be hard to beat, at least early in the season. So they got momentum. They did well last year. So definitely they are a team to watch out for. However, I just think the Commanders, man, they're loaded. They're loaded. They're focused. They're dialed in. They seem like they're that type of team that they learn from their mistakes. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take the Commanders as underdogs in this. So, I'm going to go money line Washington Commanders in this game for the upset. I don't really think it's an upset, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that Vegas just hasn't caught up yet with how good these Commanders are. So, I'm going to go with the Commanders in that game. Money line, again, I focus mainly on quarterback play. So, quarterback play, I think Jaden Daniels is just a better quarterback, pure and simple. Moving on, I got the Bengals versus the Jaguars. I'm going to say, obviously, Burrow is better than Trevor Lawrence. I think that is pretty obvious and evident at this point, dating back to their classic shootout in the championship game up in college. Joe Burrow has dominated the Jaguars for the most part since he's been in the league. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this simple. I'm gonna go with the Bengals in this money line. I don't see why the Bengals should lose this game. The Jaguars, they're just not a very good team. Might get proven wrong. It's still early in the season, so the Bengals just may lay an egg. So it's possible. But I'm gonna still go with the Bengals. Better quarterback play, better offense, and the defense showed up last week for the Bengals against the Browns. So let's be clear, the Bengals defense did show up. So at least against a bad team, and they're playing against another bad team. So they should win this game. Next, I'm going on to the Ravens versus the Browns. I mean, this is pretty obvious. I mean, they're just not a very good team. The Ravens are a good team, and they're probably pissed off about losing that game against the Bills, a game that they had in the bag. They were up by over 2 touchdowns at one point, and they gave up that game. So I think you're going to have a very motivated, very focused, dialed in Ravens team. So I see this as an easy money line pick. You're probably gonna have to parlay this one, put it into some type of multiple bet. Obviously, it's like crazy. The numbers is the money line is just crazy. But yeah, I got the Ravens in this one. Next, we move on to the Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Now, a lot of people trash Russell Wilson. Some of it is justifiable, but mostly it's not. He's a winner, man. I'm still rock with Russell Wilson. I still believe that. Now again, how I do my how I look at teams, it's largely based off of the quarterback play. I think Dak Prescott for the Cowboys is a highly overrated quarterback. I think he's a C-level quarterback masquerading around as a B+ quarterback. He's not that good. I'm sorry, but sorry, Cowboys fans. I'm trying to be non-biased with this channel, but yeah, he's just not that good. He's not that guy. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Giants, they're going to bounce back from that loss from last week against the Commanders. I think the Commanders are not getting the proper respect that they deserve. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Giants is better than what we think they are. And I think Russell Wilson still got something left in the tank. And I think he has something left to prove as well. So I'm going to go with the Giants money line versus the Cowboys for the upset. And then I have Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Seahawks. I mean, they're Pittsburgh. I mean, we got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is 40 plus years old. However, they're the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're very methodical. They're very well disciplined. They're very well trained. And pretty much this is their game to lose. The money line is a little bit low. I think it should be a little higher considering the weapons that the Pittsburgh Steelers have. But however, hey, Seahawks, they're a pretty good team too. But again, I go with quarterback play. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Steelers. So those are my picks for next week, for the next for week 2. So go ahead, enjoy this week of football, and good luck. Good luck with your picks. All right.